Welcome back, my stamping friends. Whoops, I have it upside down. Okay, so this is another new stamp from the Blue Knight Rubber Stamps January 2020 release. This is called Sloth. And really cute stamp set. You can see it is very well illustrated, very easy to color, and we are going to get right into it. So one of the things that's different about this stamp is the sentiment is already in there. If you don't like that, what you can do is mask it out. I'll show that on the next video. But what I did was I simply stamped it twice in my Mini Misty using the Brutus Monroe Detail Ink Raven. So now what we're going to do, I'm just going to heat set it real quick. And by the way, I stamped it on a piece of Neenah Solarite, which was cut to, I think this is 5 by 3 3/4. 5 1/4 by, oh, done Nance. 5 1/4 by 4, sorry. So 5 1/4 by 4, and you can see it stamped actually perfectly, and there's a small white border all the way around it. So we're good there. I am going to be using the Arteza colored pencils. I have the 120 set here. I also have some blending stumps and some Gamsel here. I will link everything in the description for you. And I just thought this would be fun and easy to color. So the first thing I want to do before I color it is I do want to add some clouds in the background. So this cute, easy to use stencil is from Blue Knight Rubber Stamps. I'm going to use a little blending brush. Super soft one. Let me grab some light blue ink here. Just have some Distress ink in tumbled glass. And I want to do this first because it'll be really easy to do, and then I can just color right over it with my color pencils. Like, see if that blue gets in the trees, it's not going to be a big deal. And I do like using little blending brushes for this because they are super soft and light. All right, so let me show you guys this. See this little cloud background? Super simple, very easy to do. All right, so let's get in and start coloring. I do have some Gamsel here from Inky Antics. I will link everything for you guys. Get some color pencils out here. Have some greens, so we will work on the leaves. Grab a blending stump, and I'm going to just start with some lighter greens here. This one's called Mint Green, and I'm just going to lay down some color randomly in these leaves here. This is going to be really simple and easy to do because again, what I like about these stamps, I say it over and over again, is that the artist, the illustrator, has already put in your shadows. These are super easy to color, and all you have to do is just put some color in there. You can use any kind of medium. You can use watercolors, you can use markers, you can use alcohol markers, you can use crayons, color pencils, pastels, stick pastels, pan pastels, chalks, anything like that. So I'm just laying a nice shade of green down for our base. Okay, then I want to go in with a little bit darker green, spearmint green, and anywhere where he or she, the artist, has put these kind of shadows or hash marks, I am going to go in and color the darker green over that. I hope I am staying. I have to keep remembering to look up because this is zoomed in, and I know you guys are like, stay in frame. I'm trying to make sure I remember to do that. Now, made a little boo-boo and went outside the lines there. No big deal. I'm going to take my little mono sand eraser and erase that. It happens. Okay. And I think I want a little bit more shade of green in here. Okay, here's apple green. Yes, so anywhere there's kind of a light spot, just kind of mixing these greens up so they have different tones of green. And this is what gives our images some dimension. They don't look flat. They're not all exactly the same. We have me and Leah's birthday coming up soon. We're going to go to New York City. We have a date planned for her to take her American Girl doll to Rockefeller Center, and we do a little tea party with the doll, so she's excited about that. And I'm going to see if I can somehow manage to swing over to the Ink Pad in New York City, which is a stamp store. It's one of the very first stamp stores I ever got to go to when I started my scrapbooking stamping journey, and I fell in love with it. And I've only been 2 other times, so this, if I get to go, it'll be my 3rd time going. And I just stand there and just look at everything. It's so beautiful. Okay, pretty much done with the leaves. So at this point, I'm going to go in with my blending stump. I'm going to go in with Gamsol, and all I'm going to do is go in and now blend all of those colors. Now, to me, it doesn't matter if you go dark to light, light to dark. I think it gives a lot of variety when you mix those colors up. Just looks cool. And you can probably do 3 or 4 leaves before your Gamsol dries out and you need to dip in and grab some more. Just depending on how large they are, how much color you have down, how much blending you need to do. And you can always add more if you want to deepen it up and make it even darker. You can do that, but I want this to be pretty quick. I really want this to be kind of vibrant and bright. I really think the green and the blue in the sky bring that out, because sloths are kind of, aren't they like a grayish brown color? I mean, they're not like a super exciting animal, unfortunately. but I guess they do have a little bit of cuteness, right? Okay, I think I did pretty good with my leaves there. So let's move on to his tree branch. And then we'll work on our little buddy. Okay, so a variety of different colors of browns here. Again, I want to go down with a lighter brown and just kind of lay down a base color here. Let's try this cinnamon. It's kind of a reddish brown. I'm going to go in real quick and lay down a base color for this branch. Okay, that was really simple. Now I'm going to go and darken up my brown a little bit here to hazelnut brown. And again, anywhere there's hash marks or shadows, that's where we want to go in and darken this. And there is some here right below where his arms are hanging. So we want to make sure that those are darker because that is representing the shadow of where his arms are right here. Okay, and another dark brown. This is dark chocolate brown. And again, really going in where those shadows are, under the leaves, under his arms. We have a little bit under his little hand here. Under the whole underside of this tree branch needs to be darker. Okay, now we're going to go in with our blending snub. Let me see if I have one that's already brown. Here we go. I love watching the Gamsol melt that color pencil and just blends so effortlessly. When I'm thinking quick colored cards, I'm always thinking color pencils. Just makes it easy. And look at the difference of how well that blended up here versus seeing all the pencil marks down here. So pretty. And I don't have to worry about the mess. If I have to walk away from this right now and go cook dinner, Nothing's gonna dry out. Nothing needs to be put away. You know, I just put the lid on the Gamsol and walk away from it, and I can always come back to it later. That's the other thing. It's super convenient. Very little to clean up in terms of mess. It's not like you're gonna have it all over your hands like you are with markers or paint. This is a great way to get kids involved too. You guys know that Leah does coloring with me. You know, it's really easy for her to do color pencils versus worrying about markers and using the wrong paper. Because let's face it, sometimes we use cheaper paper. You know, it's easier to use color pencils than it is markers, because the markers will bleed through a lot of times. So this is just Neenah Solar White paper like I always use, but I don't have to worry about it buckling or peeling or anything like that. Okay, so last thing to do, erase this little excess I got right here. That's the other thing, it's really easy to erase your mistakes. Okay, is to color our little sloth guy, and I think I'm gonna go in and do him in some grays. We'll bring out a little tray of gray pencils over. Let's see here. I think I'll do the same thing as just color him in a nice lighter gray and then go in and we will accent the shadows. Let's see, this is concrete gray. I want to swatch out some of these. Oh, Nance. I can always flip my paper over. That's a cool gray. Okay, that's a warm gray. All right. So I like the warm gray. That's also a warm gray. Let's try these two. All right, so the first one is mushroom gray. I'm going to use that for his kind of all over color. It's a really light gray. Got a warm gray tone to it. Warm grays have a little bit of a brown in them. So like mushrooms are kind of beigey brown. That's what color this is. And I know it's hard to see, but again, we're just laying down a base color for him. Not being real neat, just putting that color down. And we're going to go in now with concrete gray, which is a little bit darker. And this is where we will go in and add to the details. So around his face, under his arm here, his belly, his other arm. All of these areas that are shadowed, we want to concentrate that darker brown, darker gray. And like I said, it doesn't take very much because this is drawn so well. We don't have to do a whole bunch. Now I'm going to add a little bit darker gray. This is called shadow gray. And anywhere where it almost looks black, I'm going to put this shadow gray. I don't need a whole bunch of this, but where it should be really dark. Okay, that's it. Let's grab our Gamsol. And he just comes to life. that's it. He's done. I don't need to stamp a sentiment because there's already a sentiment on there. He's already dry. I'm just going to go in with black marker. The jelly roll's been drying out, so I might have to try something else here. This is a Sakura Micro Perm. There we go. Now all I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over his nose, his mouth, around his eyes. And that's it. Mount him on card and he's all finished. So there we go. Simple, easy to do coloring. Again, brand new stamp from Blue Knight Rubber Stamps called Sloth. I will link it down below in the description for you. Colored it with the Arteza color pencils using some Gamsol and some blending stumps. Super easy to do. Don't forget the cloud stencil as well. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below. Again, I will link everything in the description for you. If this is your, if you're new to my channel, you can click the little bubble that's going to come up in the bottom right-hand corner here, and you can subscribe to my videos. Every time I post one, you'll be notified. And if you like this video, I always appreciate your thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys, and keep on stamping.